Okay, so good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you all. I'm Sanya Chavan, Manager Certifications and Engagements at FPSB India. And it's truly a pleasure to have you once again here for today's masterclass on managing a successful financial planning practice. We know this topic has been one of the most awaited topics in our professionals community, and rightfully so, right? As CFP professionals, many of us aspire to build a client-centric and a sustainable entrepreneurial practice. And this session is designed to offer exactly that, practical strategies from real-world experience. So I promise you this webinar is going to be quite insightful, engaging, and packed with actionable takeaways. So right now, we are honored to have with us two of our very esteemed professionals with us today. First, please join me in welcoming Mr. Viresh Patel, founder of Financial North and a certified financial planner. Viresh will be sharing practical strategies and key lessons from his own journey of building a successful fee-based financial planning practice. With over 9 years of experience, including as an RIA, Viresh brings deep expertise in delivering client-centric, transparent, and a goal-oriented advice. He is also the author of the academic paper titled Practice Level Framework for Financial Planning and Investment Advisory Firm Onboarding to Rebalancing, published by NISM. And he's also a registered AMFI mutual fund advisor. And moderating today's session is Mr. Anshul Srivastava, Head of Standards and Examinations at FPSB India. Anshul is a seasoned academic and in the financial planning field and will be sharing a perspective on the evolving regulatory landscape, emerging trends, and what it means for a CFP professional to navigate his exciting transformation that we can see today. So without further ado, now I hand over the session to Mr. Anshul Srivastava to take us forward. Anshul, sir.
Thanks a lot, Sanya, and good evening and welcome to all the participants. We can see a lot of excitement around the topic because the topic of financial planning practice is very close to our hearts as CFP certificates. So I have been CFP certificate for quite some time now, for more than 15, 17 years now. And this is a topic which we have been talking about. New people entering, they are wondering whether they should start a financial planning practice. Some of us as CFP certificates are employed. Some of us are employed and thinking about taking the lead, whether we should start with the practice. Some of us are already practicing. So there are a lot of things that go on when we decide to or we are into practice. So there are many different angles when we are talking about financial planning practice. There is a regulatory angle, there's a technical angle, there's a marketing angle, that where will I get the clients from? And as we all know that our field, the field that in which we are operating, financial planning and a broader field of financial services is very, very dynamic in nature. So at various levels, there are challenges which young professionals, both young and old means we are all young, not old, but people who at a later stage in career decide that they want to transition and get into their own practice, they face from time to time. So while there are many platforms and this as Financial Planning Standards Board India, we have also been contemplating for some time that we are going to start practice-oriented workshops. So this is first in that regard, that when Mr. Viresh Patel approached with the topic, we immediately took it. And so today our focus will be more on the practical aspects as what you will face when you will go and start your practice. We won't be talking much about the regulatory angle. We won't be talking much about the technical angle as to what softwares or maybe Excel sheets. We'll not be talking about that. We'll not be talking about SEBI RI regulations. We'll be more talking about the behavioral aspect of it. Because as professionals, when we decide to change track, or maybe we are on a track, but we are not catching up with speed, because financial planning practice takes time to build. And it requires a lot of patience, a lot of conviction, a lot of belief. That's what we have seen in Mr. Patel's journey. And that is why we have invited him to share that. So the flow would be like that, that Mr. Patel will be sharing the presentation and he will be speaking to us. And after the presentation, I'll take up some questions and then we'll open the floor for questioning. So I think without much delay, I will hand over the stage to Mr. Viresh Patel. Please, Mr.
So, thank you, Anshul ji. And if this would have been a in-person workshop or a master class, I would have bowed my heads naman karta main to FPSB to take up this cause, and also to all the attendees who have registered, because I am just informed that the registrations are across the country from 23, 24 states. So I would have please accept my gratitude and the enthusiasm with which the registrations has happened across the country. In fact, I'm told that we also have a few out, even from outside of India. So appreciate each one of you, and please accept the gratitude. At the same time, I'm honored to give this opportunity to share my 20 years of journey learnings, which are practical learnings. And as Anshul ji said, कि a hard way of learning. So I'm going to share with that. The whole aim of this uh, master class is to ensure that there are a lot of confusing signals which all of us hear from lot of news, to ensure that from confusing signals we move towards insights and solutions at the end of this about 1.5 hour of master class. I've tried and made it concise, short, to ensure कि insights and solutions कुछ ना कुछ लेके जाए हम सब. To start, before we start, just operational request: pen and diary. When we are in a master class or a workshop, we don't know where the solution or the insight comes from and what is suitable for us. So pen and diary is very much required and requested. Second thing is, I am not the kind of person who just keeps talking. So there will be a lot of responses which will be expected. So it will be good to share insights as well, especially whenever requested. And last thing is, the section is divided into why this topic and where are we now at our stage. Second is insights and solutions, and last is Q&A section. So kindly share your queries as per slide number in the Q&A sections, and we will have enough time. I will ensure that each one of you gets the response. So let's start. As I said, let's start with why this topic. And as Anshulji said, we have been eager to start this. So let's start with why this topic. And the reason one is that there are changing dynamics in terms of age demographics. We can understand from all the data that there is a younger population in India today. Approximately 65% is below 35, and average age of Indians is about 29, uh, which is quite young. Second is our earning demographics. Generally, both of the couples are today earning and professionals, and we are into a nuclear family setup. Looking from the ITR background, the latest ITR report, about 3.34 lakh are employed, and about 1.88 crores are small business entrepreneurs. Sorry, 3.34 crores. My mistake. 3.34 crores are employed and filed the ITR, and about 1.8, that is about 2 crores, are from some small businesses. So these are the kind of people who are young as well as earning. And in this demographics of earning, which could be requiring and which are looking for advisory. Third thing is, there is a higher number of financial awareness and literacy that is going. Just to spread the last number, 77, which we see on the screen, is a percentage of literacy. Out of 177 are termed as literate in India, and out of that, 35 are financially literate, which means that we have higher number of people who are also getting literate. So young population earning, at the same time, the percentage of literacy, financial literacy is going up, which means they are quite aware on putting the right numbers to the right advisors. And this 35 is, we may feel that it is low, but this is growing by double numbers every year. So the awareness percentage is going up. At the same time, if we understand and we can sense it, that there is a sort of trust deficit in traditional methods. um, the whole industry is changing from sales oriented to solutions oriented. So this is a very big change with the young and earning population, with the literacy that we are seeing. The fifth dynamic, that is the reason, is there is a changing market dynamics. So newer markets, the world is becoming global and the globe is already changing every day, every minute. At the same time, there are a lot of new products and new ways of investments and queries from our investors. So, for example, ETFs, passive investing, and newly introduced SIFs are also introduced. So, changing dynamics of markets. And last but not the least is very big change in regulations and its implications. Today, new intermediaries are required to get registered, and with the registrations, there are a lot of new certifications that are requirements to get registered. At the same time, it does not end at registration, but there are a lot of disclosures and audits that happen on an annual and regular basis to each of the intermediaries. So this is reason one why there is a big need for practitioners. Now let's see the ways to deliver. We have seen a lot of surveys that FPSB has already shared with us about the need and awareness and the importance of working with a financial planner from the investor side. And the way to deliver is either we get employed and deliver the results and solutions, or we choose to become a practitioner and we deliver the results and solutions. We all are placed somewhere here, and the delivery method could be, we could choose to become an employed or we could choose to become a practitioner. Being an employed, there are enough surveys by FPSB on reports saying what are the job opportunities being a financial planner, certified financial planner. So what we do is we seek newer and better placements. At the same time, some of you may also be thinking on starting your own financial planning practice. And as a practitioner, there is a lot of missing information on opportunities. So this is reason to why FPSB has been looking for this, and why we are conducting this master class to see whether we can reduce the number of missing information. At the same time, as practitioner, we provide placements, and there are a lot of practitioners probably even attending this session who have already started but maybe struggling, or some of few of us are already settled. And there are third kind of delivery method to grow is somewhere in between, which is either employed or a student, and they are looking to start their own practices, which is in a transition phase. At the same time, there are a lot of practitioners who are still feeling themselves in a practitioner stage, either from getting employed to starting on their own, or maybe from MFD to RIA, or maybe from non-regulated to regulated with a specification. So this is the third delivery method stage where we could be in a transition. So hit the chat box and please type E or P or T if you are as an employed and delivering, then type E. If you are a practitioner and delivering the solutions, type P. And if you are in a transitional phase or looking to start, please type T in the chat box. We'll look for a lot of quick responses.
We'll have to enable the chat for this thing for them. 1 second, sir. Okay,
Yes,
we
please.
have the responses with
Okay,
us.
yes, yes, superb. So as I said, we all need to have a book and pen. So it would be great for each one of us to keep this noting for our own selves in the pad. Superb. So a lot of attendance, I see P, T, E, P. Okay, already practitioners, transitions, E, employed. Superb, superb, amazing, amazing. Okay, employed, employed, amazing, superb. I love the energy. So, this is the first level of where am I? Okay, so I am either employed and delivering, I am a practitioner and delivering, or probably I am in a transition phase and still delivering, I'm looking to deliver. Now, let's see the next one. Okay, this is interesting. Why this topic? The reason too. We all have read enough data and why to be a practitioner. So first is the recent report says that there were record number of ITR filings in previous financial year, 7.28 crores. The second is most important is 19.2 crores of total demat accounts as of April 25. And this is not latest, but closing FY25 and released in April 25. So 19.24 crores of demat accounts. And last but not the least, with these numbers, if we see, we are about 5,37,000 who are front facing with the young, earning, and aware population. Okay. And if you can see on the left, I have tried and covered all the numbers which could be not latest, but tried and covered all the people, advisors who are front facing. Some of us could be doing personal finance, some of us may not be. Okay. And that is the reason out of the demat accounts, I'm assuming each family will have three accounts. So there could be 64 lakhs of families. And if we divide between all of the 53,000 advisors at a various registration level, still each advisor would get about 120 families to advise. And if we say 30% of these total 5,37,000 advisors are only into personal finance advisory, then in that case we would have round of 400 families to cater to. Now, trust me, this is an amazing number to start and set our practice. 400 families and 120 families. This is the range to start with as an aim to start our own practice. And this is one of the second biggest reason why we are talking about this, why being a practitioner. We all are here placed somewhere at a different stage. Okay. As we said, someone could be starting or just started or thinking to start. Someone could be already started, just started, or within 3 years of starting, okay, and transitioning. And someone could be 10, 20 years into the practice and they are now looking for the next leap of faith and growth. So again, hit the chat box and also note down in your book. i- Kindly share if you are as an ST, if you are in a starting mode. Kindly share STN if you are in a sustenance mode stage, and kindly share type GR if you are in a growth mode or growth stage. Hit the chat box, please, and also note down in your book or diary. Are we? Is the chat box again open? Great. Yes. Go.
Yes.
Superb. Start. I understand. Sustains. Yes. Start. Yes. Please hit the chat box. Sustain. Grow. Sustain. Yes. Superb. Okay. Start. Superb. Grow. Lovely. Superb. Superb. Even if you are not putting here in the chat box, it is fine. But please note down in your book because The second part is about insights and solutions, which will be very specific, depending upon what stage you are. So start, grow, superb. I see a lot of starts or transitions and also some grow. Superb. Amazing. Appreciate. Really appreciate. So let's see the next stage. Okay. Again, keep a note of this. We all are investors at an individual level. So keep this aside. But let's think on the practice and service level. So are we the manufacturer of the products? Are we the distributor of the product? Or are we one point solution or a family doctor of the product? This is a very good insight to define ourselves. And this is how we can stand up. Okay. So kindly again hit the chat box and say MFG if you are from a manufacturing industry of the products, maybe working with an AMC or maybe uh, a product. Kindly share if you are a distributor, then type DIST. And please note also on your diaries, if you are one point contact and everything under one services, then kindly hit chat DR that you are a doctor or one point contact for the families that you are serving or looking to serve. Even if you have not started, kindly identify and try and identify yourself between the three at a wholesome level. And why I have put a medical industry, there is a reason. Medical industry is very clear to understand from a common man's point of view. Are we hitting the chat box? Yes, superb. Doctor, yes. Distributor, doctor. Amazing. I'm seeing a lot of doctors. Superb, superb. This is what makes us proud. Amazing. Superb. Also note this down because the insights and solutions are going to be very specific. So note this down in your diary as well. Superb. I can understand and everything is right. If you are from manufacturing, distribution, or identified as one point of contact for your clients, everything is right. Some of you may be even in a transition phase, and I can totally understand that. Superb. So now we have understood why we have chosen this topic. We have noted three different times, and we have identified where do I stand. Okay. And before we start, let me be starting with a clarity and a promise that I assure that this session or this 1.5 hour of your time invested is going to be time well invested. And at the same time, this is aimed at empowering you to move forward thoughtfully, sharper, and faster. This is the assurance that I am trying to deliver. At the same time, there are some disclaimers. There is, as Anshul ji said, there is no talks on technical or financial plan preparation. We all know there are 7, 8, 10 formulas which we all follow. And I think educational institutes are the best place to help us understand and learn and gain from technical skills. There is no talks on regulatory and regulation updates because it would require a special session and probably a separate speaker and expert to talk on this. Uh, I'm not going to share a discovery. Financial planning practice is a journey by itself. So it is, please don't expect a point blank solution. At the same time, what I'm going to do in the journey of discovery is this managing a successful financial planning practice is I have divided it into two, which is macro and micro. Macro is something which is stable, immaterial of which stage, which way of delivery you choose. And micro is something which is going to be individualistic, the way and your personality lies. So that is how I am going to share going forward. Next thing is there is no success stories that I'm going to talk about. The best learnings happen by talking about failure. So probably I'm going to talk on my learnings by of 20 years. And last but important thing, very important thing to understand is I'm still, even after 20 years, of financial service, being in personal finance domain, and 9 years as an RIA, I'm still going through a struggle phase myself. And what is that struggle that I'm going through? As Anshulji said, it is a journey of patience. It is a journey of confidence. It is a journey of self-belief. So what is that struggle that I am currently going through? Inconsistent income. That is one struggle that I am feeling and sensing and going through. Client retention, yes, it's a challenge. Client retention is a challenge. Lack of long-term team. Team keeps moving and changing. So, especially with a fixed fee only model, that's a bigger challenge. And ever-changing regulations. Every day, some or the other regulatory notifications. Someday comes from RBI, someday comes from SEBI, someday comes from IRDA. So it is super duper difficult to remain updated, not only follow, but remain updated with the same. Ever changing client situations and market situations. Every day, new client comes with new problem or new inquiry. So again, ever changing situations is again struggling. Trust me, it's a bigger struggle because every client will come with different queries and questions. And last struggle that I'm going to share with you is there are lots of transitions that I have gone through, and that is again a struggle for me. So we can understand that there is no tried and tested business model to follow. Let us be very honest because we are yet a baby and there is not too much of successful practice story available. So as I said, there is a struggle in my story, but I will start with my own story. Are we able to hear the noise? Oh, sound?
Not really.
Okay.
You want me to try it once?
Yes, please. I'll stop share.
Yes, just give me a moment. It's not giving me as well the option. I'm not sure why.
Mm,
Point as background. Okay, 1 second. Are you able to see my screen?
yes. Mm, no, no, not happening.
Not coming.
No, no.
Is it okay if we play it
Yeah,
without the
yeah, I
sound
think
for
it is
now?
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is, I think, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yes. I'm again sound. My sound is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this was my transitional journey and my story, which was not the smoothest one, and that is what I wanted to actually share. But amongst this, important is to keep contributing, learning, and also sharing our own thoughts and ideas. And within this practice chaos, here I am today with 54 families working in 8 countries and managing about 370 plus crores of net worth. And here I am still after 20 years mad enough to grow. At the same time, living my dream and for sure working on the same. On a recognizing ours as a personal finance industry, as an industry status. Trust me, I'm writing to MOF, I'm writing to Ministry of Commerce, and I'm writing to PMO. Uh, just imagine how easy it would be for a common man to identify. अच्छा पर्सनल फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में बिजनेस फाइनेंस है तो बिजनेस से रिलेटेड टैक्सेशन है एंड पर्सनल फाइनेंस है तो इन्वेस्टमेंट रिलेटेड है. This would be the starting point for the awareness going to the next level. And if you understand and if you believe this, then let's do this together and start this together. So here I am prospering, earning, but not working only for money. Principle is to grow and help others grow. Here I am directing money in a way. Let's get life gets direction and purposeful living every moment. This is the journey from directionless to purpose driven life every moment. So, managing a successful financial planning practice, maybe we are in a start phase or thinking to start, we are in a sustaining phase or a transition, and we are in a growth phase. Let's understand what stops us. So, again, I hope each one of us has a pen and diary. And kindly again share in the chat box what and also write in your diary what is top 1 or 3 reasons which is stopping us to start our own practice quickly, about 30 seconds. Kindly share on the chat box. Lack of leads, may not get enough clients, superb uncertainty, how to get clients, regulation, yes, number of clients in a UM, compliance, amazing, so honest. I love this. Nothing already done. Okay, superb. Lack of leads, existing responsibilities, yes. Small city, okay. Own belief systems, so honest. Lack of leads, wow. Compliance, yes. Superb, superb. I really appreciate and also write your top 3 reasons what stops you to start your own practice in your diary. Because I'm going to share some certain insights on the same on how to overpower. And really, really honestly appreciate that you have honestly written this in the chat box. So let's see in my experience what stops. Okay, I get a lot of uh, DMs in my LinkedIn profile, and here is what I have summed it up as. So a lot of people come to me through LinkedIn or maybe personal chat or maybe through Quora and say, Viresh ji, I lack experience. How do I start? I am working and I lack experience. Or maybe some of you come back to me and say, Viresh ji, इतना सारा regulation है, so many ways to deliver. Which certification should I go for and start from? As most of you have also written some of this as a what stops, right? Why would clients pay me? This is again a very specific query that lot of people from LinkedIn come to me and ask me. Lot of people have written, how would I get the leads? So where will I get the clients from? Is generally also the topmost reason to ask and come to me. And how to start, sustain, and grow is also one of the chats which normally I get as an inquiry through LinkedIn. And last but not the least, जो entrepreneurship की journey है उसमें there is no backup. I don't have anyone within my family who has ever started a profession or a business, or I have no business background, or I have no financial services background in my family. Like I started where in my family there are none of the people who are working in financial services industry, and there is no one who has started their own profession in financial services industry. And these are some of the common queries that people come to me through LinkedIn, and that's how I have listed and understood this. So let's see how we can make this happen with this, what stops me, and how we can reverse this. As I shared, I am going to share on macros, and micros will be individualistic as per your area of expertise that you choose or delivery that you choose, and your personality and personal skills, which can be personalized with the macros, and this macros remains the same. The first part, someone also wrote my own belief systems. So the first part is the mindset. So we need to start with the mindset of unknown. As I said, there is so much uncertainty. Uncertainty from the regulation side, uncertainty from the market side, and market dynamics, and also uncertainty from client side. Every day is a new day, new query. So let's start with this mindset of unknown, and let's have a belief system within us that I will fight and I will overcome. लड़ लूंगा, झगड़ लूंगा, जीत लूंगा. This attitude we need to inculcate within us, and then start with this mindset, which is the most important factor to be a practitioner in this industry. In fact, any industry, but in this industry specifically, because especially we don't have enough successful practices as a starting stone. The second most important thing is what is the approach? What approach should you start with? As I said, there is a big change from sales to solution. So have an approach, inculcate an approach of solution oriented rather than saying I sell this or I offer you this product. So let's say I have a solution to this problem, what you are looking for. The route could be anything, mutual fund, planning, wealth management, everything is fine, trust me. Everything is fine as far as it is solution oriented and client centric, value added. The third thing, macro remains the same, is now you have chosen your solution oriented mindset, and the way to approach, which is could be mutual fund, could be wealth management, have a relative certification and start with basic minimum one. Okay, if we are saying mutual fund, if we are saying mutual fund, then have minimum ARN. If you are saying financial planning, then have CFP. So minimum एक certification से शुरू करना है, so that we can stand and say, okay, I offer financial planning and I am certified financial planner. That kind of thing we need to start with. And the last and most important is act. We keep thinking so much that at times, like I myself, uh, uh, because of the confidence, I kept thinking so much for about 3 years that I didn't jump from mutual fund and product selling to purely advisory for 3 years. So I don't want people who are with the right intent coming to the industry to waste their time. So start immediately. Okay, and be open to make mistakes. And the second macro, which is again very important with these four macro one factors, is have some growth measurements and have your own set benchmarks to review. The benchmarks could be probably at least one, and it could be a mix of all of this. It could be total number of clients by the end of the year, maybe say 50 clients in 1 year, or it could be the total AUM that you are managing at the end of the 1 year or 6 months. It could be total fees or revenue that you have collected from family, from either as commission or from fees from the client. It could also be team members size. I will have 3 team members, backend operations or sales or whatever you want to identify as by the end of a year. You could also have a target of number of networking events attended. Like I have my own self target. In a year, I will attend at least 17 to 18 networking events in a year. And you could also start with a number of IAPs conducted, investor awareness programs, workshops, financial well-being camps. So you could start with minimum one, but also a mix of it. And this becomes your specific benchmarks to ensure that at the end of the year or in between at the end of a quarter, you are measuring your progress with these benchmarks. And most importantly, share this with someone. To start with, it could even be your spouse, but also have someone from the industry. But share this with someone and let's become accountable to this for these benchmarks. Now, now that we have understood this, now let's see in a detailed manner what goes into the insights of it. Now you have written yourself in the book what stage you are. You could be employed, you could be practitioner, you could be in a transition phase. You could be in a starting phase, you could be in a sustainable or transition phase, or you could be in a growth phase. You have written either you are a manufacturer, you have written you could be a distributor, you have written you are one point contact, a doctor. Okay. Once you have written all of this, now let's see which focuses or which is suitable to you as a detailed insight and solution. So if you fit yourself into a starting phase or just started, then this is specifically for you. So first action is you need to jumpstart. आज चालू करना है. And it is not immediate, but it is now. The second part is start with any service. See, I met, when I started, I met lot of mentors, lot of coaches. Find your niche, define your TG, आपका client avatar लिखो. Was this is good to hear and this is look to start, good to coach. But to start, we need to explore our own self. कि मैं कहाँ stand करता हूँ. So start with anything. If you are a kind of kid who knows from the sixth standard कि मैं डॉक्टर बनने वाला हूँ और 10th 11th तक भी डॉक्टर ही बोल रहा है, then start with one. Otherwise, start with anything. Anything is fine. But start exploring your niche and start exploring your weaknesses and strengths. तो किसी एक से शुरू कर लो. Next part is team. At the earliest, have at least one team member. That one team member could be from backend or operations, and starting alone is okay. Ensure that you are joining immediately at least one chosen network. अगर mutual fund choose किया है as a delivery method of the solution, then join some of the mutual fund associations which could be local or at an India level. And also ensure that like I keep attending lot of summits from CFP, FPSBs. तो quarterly summits होते हैं. Let's interact together. Let's understand कि वो network में क्या हो रहा है. Learning from within and learning from outside. At the same time, what should be your approach? The approach should be, as we understood from the macros, is client centric and learn from experience. तो जो industry में है, network में मिल रहे हैं, उनके साथ एक learning attitude रखते हैं. Next part is what should be the process. So process has to be noted because आपको एक process बनानी पड़ेगी. तो आप ensure करिए कि we are starting with noting down each and every point of the process that we follow in our practice, and also we follow the basics of our practice. At the same time, where should be the focus of your work? There are n number of things as a practitioner when we start as an entrepreneur. Generally, there are 8 to 9 departments, but we need to focus because we are the one person army. So we need to focus on ideally client facing because client के साथ हम ही है. Second, research. Trust me, solution oriented and not sales oriented. what lot of data and data backed logics and reasons has to be given. It would be good that when you have starting, we start with research by our own self. And third is be present in the networks. So network में attend करिए and go and learn. Next is attitude. What should be our attitude? Learning and growing. Basic relevant qualification तो हमको चाहिए, certification, whatever you have chosen. And what should be the support system? Know and remain in touch with two or three experienced people within your industry. Mutual fund अगर choose किया है तो म्यूचुअल फंड में दो या तीन लोग जो एक्सपीरियंस दे, दे शुड बी ऑन द चैट as a support system for you. At least start identifying those. From the backend support side, have one person which could be backend or operations, and have minimum one or some minimum automation. For example, अगर म्यूचुअल फंड चूज कर रहे हैं तो we may like to opt for BSE or NSE for executions, or maybe investmel kind of thing for the backend support. And what could be the SWOT analysis? Be open to all the actions, make mistakes, and make a note of all the actions that we have done. Could be learnings, could be mistakes. Learnings are the best, mistakes are the best learnings. So keep a note of it. And last but not the least, lot of people also come to me and ask, अकेला करूं या company form करूं? My only request is that keep your cost low, because next level of growth जो है उसके लिए we would require some investments to be kept aside. So अपने financial planning में ये एक part side पे रखना बहुत जरूरी है. So keep a focus on this. So if you are on a starting or just starting or thinking to start phase, this is for you. Okay. This will help us keep focus on every aspect of our practice. Now, if you have written in your book that you are in a sustenance mode or a transition phase stage of life, then this is for you. Your first action is to identify your specialized service or any service which is specialized. Okay. If you are trying to sustain, then also you have spent about 3 years, 4 years into the practice, and now identify yourself as some specialized person. Then in terms of team, expand, and within the team, expand within your firm and practice. At the same time, start identifying from the networks one or three people whom you can collaborate with. The next is broaden your network. Your approach should be learn and gain, and now also start sharing your learnings with the new industry people, and also outside, which is IAPs, workshops, and camps. What should be the process? Start training your team within your process. Now that you have written the process when you started, now start training your team, because when we train our team with the process, there will be a lot of question marks which will help us strengthen our processes, and then keep a follow up of the process and upgrade it. What should be your focus on the work? Client facing, again, that should remain even in this phase. Lesser research, now reduce your number of hours in research, and maybe out of the three team member, one could be a support system for research. Go and increase your number of attendance in networking and team building, and also start taking training sessions for your team. Your our attitude should be learning and growing, and add more certifications, not only on qualifications but also some personality skills. What should be your support system? Ideally, have an onboard a professional mentor at this stage, so that that becomes our go-to person now. In the first stage, you have identified two or three within the industry. Probably you can now identify one and onboard one professional mentor as a support system. And next is backend systems. Have systems automation. Add more number of people, and probably now not one or two, but add more softwares if required. What should be your SWOT analysis? Identify, now list down your weaknesses and strengths. You have given enough time in your first phase to explore yourself and list down the weaknesses and strengths. Now identify and list them down and say, this is my weakness and this is my strength. And now you could still prioritize expansion, but still choose to remain individual or maybe a company depending upon your growth benchmarks that you have set. If you have surpassed most of the benchmarks, then probably you can look for a company formation. This was for sustenance or transition phase. Now, last is for the growth phase. If you are looking to grow a leap of faith to the next level, this is for you. The first action is to plan and act. This is the phase where you have a detailed plan available, and now is the time to start listing down your actions, prioritize your actions, and acting upon those plans. What again very important this growth phase is create brand identity. अगर पिज्जा खाना है, अगर चीज बर्स्ट खाना है, तो सबसे पहले डोमिनोज ही आता है. Let's identify ourselves and create that brand for our own self. So at the growth phase, if not in the previous two phases, create this brand in two out of two phases. We would have already stood as one expert. Maybe it could be one expert or it could be all under one services. As you, some of you said, I am a doctor, one point contact for my family of investors. What could be your team focus? Your team focus is add a more into your team, uh, transfer your some of your core responsibilities and core expertise to your team members, maybe research में और detailed ले लो. At the same time, now you in the second phase, you started identifying some collaborators, one or two. Now culminate those into collaborations. Now you will require more decision makers with you who are with the same wavelength. So culminate into collaborations. If you are until now team of one or two, make it a similar responsible people of three. One could take up training, one could take up marketing and front facing, one could take up back end. So create that team with a collaborative approach. The next is now attend bigger networks, increase the number of networks and your attendance. And now at this phase, probably you are recognized within the industry and networks. So be the face of your brand. Your approach should be sharing. Now share your experiences and also learn from network within the fellow field members. The process, now you have recorded your process in the two phases. Now create a training manual for your team. Okay. Out of the two phases, you have created a structure. Now create a training manual for your team. Standardize that process and keep updating that process. So have a schedule for revisiting that training manual and keep updating that. Your work focus as an individual practitioner, more networking. Now start doing less client facing things. Not saying that you don't meet your clients, but delivery service side, reduce your interactions with the client. Go through your internal research reports and lesser your time into actual doing the research by yourself and keep your team inspired. That is where your work focus at this stage should be. The next is your attitude should always be grab speakers opportunities the way I did, frankly, for this, and keep upgrading your certifications and skills. There is no age limit, no certification limit to it. So keep upgrading on your personal skills and certifications. Your support system now have an experienced team member. Probably when we are struggling or when we are starting, we could have less number of team members and we could be chicken and egg kind of situation. But now be ready to pay more and have an experienced team member, have an internal as well as external professional mentor. Okay, by your sides besides you, and as a backend create one of your own automated systems or use one identify one software which is helpful for you as a backend support. Your SWOT analysis now at this phase could be keep your strengths with you. If I am saying I am bad at marketing, probably one of the collaborative team member or partner could be expert in marketing, and I could be expert in processes and standards. So this is my strength on processes, and this is my weakness on marketing. So when I'm saying collaborative, my weakness could be someone's strength, and I'm collaborating with that person. At this stage, if not in other two, please ensure, let us ensure that we have this collaborative approach out of the SWOT analysis that we have done. And if the collaboration is not within the team, let us be open to outsource to third party. And last but not the least is, at this stage, we have to think of forming a company. And why not even think of an IPO in a financial services space? This is one pager, and you can click and take a picture of this for you to tick, because I understand each one of us has are been in a different stage. So you can click the picture and tick where do you stand and where do you, what suits you accordingly. This is concise format of all the three stages and where our focus could be and should be. So now if we are following all of this with identifying where do I stand, and then what are the, and using these insights and my learnings, uh, now we can identify and say what stops is now reversed by understanding the macros and by applying the focus areas. So the problem that we shared initially, the challenge that we shared is I have no experience, and now with a team we are saying we have a combined experience. So even when I'm starting after 1.5 year, 2 year, I could say combined with a team member of three, we have a combined experience of 5 years, 7 years, right? So that challenge is slightly overpowered. And if we are at a growth phase, we could say we have a combined experience of 50 years. So that becomes our strength rather than a challenge. The next part is no certification. Now, if a team member with a team member, or when even when we are starting, we have a specific certification. So I will say I am a registered mutual fund distributor, and I have ARN, valid ARN with me, or I am a RIA and I have a valid certification and SEBI registration with me. So that is how I will stand myself. At the same time, my attitude is to keep learning, which means now I have a combined experience if I have a team and certification, which becomes my strength now. The next part is why would clients pay me? So when we do IAPs, we are actually within the problems. And when we identify the problems, that's where the clients will pay me. Okay, so where will I get my clients from is the standing between the problem areas, which is through the IAPs, workshops, and well-being camps. And we will then be able to deliver the value. And for that value, the clients will pay me. And again, no family background, which means I have no one to fall back to, will actually become a strength, because once we are collaborating, we are having team members as a support system, we are having probably a mentor, professional mentor, that becomes my strength now. Okay. So this is how what stops or the challenges are reversed and becomes my strength in all the three different phases, wherever we stand. And when to start? Again, there is no one day. If we are thinking to start, or maybe some of us are could also be thinking of leaving or transitioning from a job to starting or on their own. Please, or maybe transitioning from MFD to RIA, or maybe non-regulated to regulated. The day is now to start. Here are my 9 pro tips, and trust me, these are practical learnings through various mentors and various courses. Practice gratitude, which is very, very important. Deep breathing as a habit. Self affirmation to build self belief. Trust me, I have asked myself 1,000 times in 7 years, have I taken a right decision of starting fee only practice or being in fee only practice? Be aware and follow inner voice. At times, we need to challenge the outer voice, and we need to follow our inner voice. And that is one of the also cases where I delayed some of my decisions because I had no one to fall back to, and I couldn't build the strength that I had to build. Learn and teach. This is an amazing thing, and this will help us gain lot of insights by our own selves. Take help and engage with a professional mentor, and trust us, respect and follow time. We work with lot of professionals. 3.34 lakh crores of ITRs filed by employed. Those could be our clients, and they are extremely busy. Always have a giving mindset. I mean, solutions is the mindset that is best to carry, and one who acts fails has a bigger opportunity to become better. So this is pro tips, trust me. This has helped me sustain in the most chaotic situation, and helping me even now. Last but not the least, the most important message which I got from my mentor is the bird has the trust on their own wings rather than the branch baking fear. I will end here, and I hope this is leading to actions from insights
Some
and
insights also.
solutions I have shared, and this is time invested and not gone waste.
I'm I'm sure it is a very well invested time, not gone waste. So thank you for a wonderfully insightful session. And as somebody is mentioning Q&A, that can we share a recording? Because this is a wonderful session, but too heavy to digest in one go. So don't worry, recording will be available. Sanya will be sharing it in on YouTube. This session will be there in YouTube and on our YouTube channel. Follow FPSB India YouTube channel for that. And there are certain things which I found very interesting. And in the last slide, you say serve instead of selling. That's a very, very strong statement. Okay, look to serve, not to sell. You will make good thing. And one of the very wonderful thing about this profession, and that's why we say that arts is a noble profession, is grow and help others grow, as you said in one of the earlier slides. So basically, as financial planners, we are continuously looking to create a win-win situation. There cannot be a win-lose situation. We are not trying to hoodwink anybody. We will win only if our client will win. So that's a wonderful thing, and that has come across very well. It is a very well curated session coming out of experience, hard experience. One thing that there are two things I found very interesting, and I would like to mention it here. That personal finance industry that Mr. Patel is talking about, we are going still micro. We are going to talk about financial planning industry. We're not even talking about personal finance industry. We are going to that we should have a financial planning as a separate industry. This is a separate profession. We are very different from other verticals of BFSI. And
Correct.
we would be, FPSB India would be working actively towards getting financial planning a recognition as an industry.
Superb.
However, let me one word that I like very much that you said was financial planning general practitioner. Okay. So
Hmm.
when you thought of becoming a financial planning general practitioner, how has CFP certification helped you? How did you decide to do CFP certification? And how has CFP certification helped you in becoming a general practitioner or maybe an investment advisor? If could you throw some light on that?
Interesting. So as I shared, I started into 2005-6 from distribution of the products, and in 2009-10 I realized that products is not something which I like to sell. Uh,
Mhm.
in my start phase, as I shared in my experience, but I couldn't understand how to start and how to do it. And I started searching on the internet what is general practitioner in finance called. And suddenly I found some company called Financial Hospital,
Mhm.
which was in UK, which was one point of contact for everything. And somewhere the CEO was a financial planner.
Okay.
And they were a 11-year-old company in UK. So that is where I understood that, okay, something called financial planning is there. And then when I searched, In 2010-11, I understood that financial planning जैसा कुछ होता है. And that is where I actually did my financial planning in 2012. And again, just to add some fun aspect, I didn't even knew that it needs to be renewed. ठीक है, उस
Okay.
टाइम पे. तो I continued saying financial planner, but someday I came to understand कि अच्छा इसको renew भी करना पड़ता है. ठीक है. And then it was too late for me, and the market had evolved. So again in 2017-18, I reappeared the financial planning again with a
Okay.
better course and better inputs. So that has helped me that way. Coming to the practice side, general practitioner would mean knowing everything of biology, physics and chemistry. वैसा ही मुझे कुछ लगा कि फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग में 7-8 चीजें जो है, विच इज इन्वेस्टमेंट, रिटायरमेंट, मतलब लाइफ रिलेटेड गोल्स, फिर टैक्सेशन, फिर विल, फिर बैंकिंग एंड बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन, इंश्योरेंसेस. तो ये सारे जो जनरल प्रैक्टिशनर वाले जो काम है, फिजिक्स बायोलॉजी वाले जो मेडिकल फील्ड में होते हैं, वो मुझे यहाँ पर कनेक्ट हुआ कि फाइनेंस सर्टिफाइड फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग सर्टिफिकेशन में ये सारे अवेलेबल है. सो आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग, not selling the products, I can advise on everything. And
Okay.
that's have it has helped me gain insights and serve.
That's wonderful. And I hope you are renewing on time now so that it
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
yeah.
get expired.
After 2018,
Yeah.
17, 18, never done that and always renewed.
That's wonderful. And meanwhile, I think you were also mentioning about your framework that you have created. So if the people have to access it, where they can go, like if somebody wants to look at the framework you're talking about,
Hmm.
uh, some thing that you have done with NISL, you can give them
Hmm.
the link.
Okay. So this is the LinkedIn scan one can do. We can connect and you can share me, DM me on LinkedIn, and I would be more than happy to share the link. It is in open format, even in NISM library if you are an NISM, if you have the NISM login. But if not, just DM me on LinkedIn and I will be more than glad. Just to share, this framework is from onboarding to rebalancing. So a whole 28, 29 step of process, which is internal financial planning.
I think
I
your voice is
have
breaking, Mr. Patel. There's
my
some problem with
understanding.
the internet, I guess.
Am I
It is breaking.
audible?
Okay, voice is breaking.
I've just switched my internet probably.
Uh,
Yes. Am I able to,
yeah, yeah,
am I
yeah.
audible?
So I guess
So this is that framework and I would be more than glad to share the link.
perfect, perfect. Thanks a lot. And meanwhile, I am done with my questions. So before we move on to audience questions, let me make an announcement. Since some people have been asking about the events also, FPSB India is very glad to inform you that we are having our next event on 22nd of July in New Delhi, International Conference of
Yeah.
Financial Planning, where you will be able to interact with international delegates, people from Asia Pacific mainly, and our global CEO would also be there. 22nd of July is the date. You can mark the date. And if you register before 5th of June, I guess I'm correct, Sanya, 5th of June, you
Yes.
can avail the early bird discount for that. Okay, so
Okay.
please go ahead. It's a very, very exciting event.
I am
Now,
in.
yeah, yeah. So Patel has already registered. Sanya has shared the link also on your chat. You can register there also. Now, I think we should take some audience questions. I can
Yes, sir.
see a lot of questions are there. So maybe I'll not be able to pick all questions. You can write your questions, which I do not pick. You can send it to us. We will answer that separately. First question is very, very interesting. I don't know. People want their financial planning to be done free of cost. How to solve this problem? Mr. Prasad Anareddy is asking this question. Uh, So how do we answer that? People want their financial planning free.
Superb. So
Should we do that?
it is as good as getting the value out of it. So once we get the multiplier value, it actually becomes free.
Hmm. So that is a trend in the country. I think free advice has no value actually.
Mhm.
So refrain from doing it if you want your advice to be valued and followed. I would say.
Correct.
Alexis, what are some of the networking event, industry events? One I told you, FPSB India event I told you. Any of the event you would like to suggest, Mr. Patel, you can do that.
So that depends on what way of service that we are trying to follow. For example, for mutual fund distributors, it could be our local mutual fund association or group, maybe a study circle if that is alive and live in your area. Be there.
Various platform. We'll not take the names, but
Correct.
yes, there are various platforms where a lot of events are there. So if you find any gathering of like-minded professionals, I think that is
Correct.
most.
Correct. And as far as networking is concerned, also there are a lot of conferences of HR to start IAPs, to do financial well-being camps. I used to go for HR conferences, and I used to network with the HRs and present my case to do financial well-being camps. So those are also good networks to start with and do IAPs.
And Rajesh has a connected question, so I'm taking that. At what are some of the reading material, magazines, source of information one should be aware of the financial planning practice point of view? Any specific that you would like to mention?
I think the first and foremost important is our own FPSB journal.
Journal, yes.
Monthly is also published. We also have
It's
international
quarterly actually.
FPSB.
Mm.
Correct. We also have international FPSB journals. At the same time, could be again industry specific, which is AMFI reports, which are published. Uh, those kind of things, even NSDL reports. We could even review financial literacy by reports by government data, IBEF, which I mentioned here. Those kind of are very good to gain and start our practice.
Exactly. And you can go like there is no dearth of reading material. I'll go to the simplest. Look at the fund fact sheets of mutual funds. They have a lot of
Correct.
information. Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody is asking, how can MFD CFP do financial planning? Can MFD CFP do fee-based financial planning? Now that's a
So again,
uh,
regulation, I will keep it aside.
yes, yes, yes.
But important is again, I always say this that keep your heart and your mind aligned.
Right.
So if the alignment is there in place, one I know a lot of MFDs who are actually doing financial planning way, and then doing the mutual fund uh, portfolios and suggestions out of the research. So who can stop us doing financial planning and then be stand ourselves as a mutual fund advisor, right? So I think
Basically,
we can do that.
I
Of
would go
course,
to the
not
extent of
charging fees because
Hmm.
regulation comes into place.
The regulation says, we'll not talk much about regulations right now, but regulation says that you can give advice incidental to your product. So nobody
Incident.
is stopping you. You are basically
Correct.
talking about a mutual fund product, mutual fund scheme that will have implications. Okay? So that
Correct.
kind of incidental you can always give. People say they don't want financial planner, they have their CA. How to go through this? Now this is interesting.
No, this is where I am mad enough to write to PMO and say we want industry status
Industry status, yes, yes, yes.
so that
It
it
takes time.
becomes easy for a common man to identify who is personal finance expert. And as Anshul ji said कि हम तो फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग इंडस्ट्री खड़ा करने का टारगेट लेके बैठे हैं तो अगर we together if we can do this nothing like it because it
Hmm.
is easier said than done to say there is non-aware client but as an industry we need to stand also like that we stand for this so
And obviously,
the certification and the service has to be in alignment
and
so that it becomes
obviously
easier.
the awareness is increasing. The
Yes,
specialized professionals are needed, and certified financial planners are specialized professionals for financial planning. So someday
correct.
people will leave the CAs and come to us.
In fact, that awareness is increasing.
That is
2017-18 के बाद,
it.
I have never been asked why to pay fees.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And even we are making CAs do our CFP certification, so do not worry about that.
Correct, correct.
Can the presentation be shared post the session? That Sanya will tell, I guess. Sanya, can the presentation be shared post the session, or if you have anything to
See,
say
the
on that?
presentation will be anyways available on their
Available.
LMS portal within 2 weeks
Hmm.
and by Monday on our official YouTube channel. So they can anytime view it there.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
So probably this is good to know that there is a YouTube channel of FPSB if someone does not know. There are a lot of insights and learnings even there on the YouTube channel.
Another interesting other question. I think Vijay, your question has been answered. As a MFD, we have already talked about. There's a question of Vijay D'Souza also regarding MFD, and this we have already talked about that. So I'll come to question of Mr. Prasanna Rao, who is asking age 52 from IT background and CFP last month. Are there any opportunity? Are there opportunities where can work as CFP on a part-time basis? How to get these opportunities? That is,
Shall I share one practical thing?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, please
three
do.
of three of my clients are currently doing CFP certification, and one
Okay,
is
that's
a
great.
FRM expert. One is an FRM expert in the 17 years in the industry, and one is CA, and one is from non-financial background. So all three of them are doing CAs, and I have suggested them, looking at their personality trait and their interest on questions, that you please become this as a part of retirement planning, interest, time spent, and a retirement income as well, side by side. So there is no age limitation, trust me. This is life turning moment. CFP certification एक खुद के लिए भी एक life turning moment है. If you choose to not even make it in a commercial manner. So I would say no age thing.
Yeah. Now there is a question. Again, next question is again about MFD. So I think we have talked about this. Mr. Anand Negi is talking about financial planning softwares. On this platform, we do not promote one software or the other. So I will keep this question for separate. Uh, Joining a broker MFD platform is a good idea or not? I'm not taking the names. Yeah. So we are not taking any names here, but is joining a broker platform a good idea, good option to start or not?
So when we start, we require a lot of support system, and at times it's a good way. Like for example, you may join some NDs, national distributors. There are big wealth managers and national distributors. We may join as a one person army. We may join them if we want to test the waters, if we cannot have a confidence to have one team member as a backend support. And if we choose that we want to be the front facing and everything else is the support system available, then probably that's a good way to start. Start with NDs, have a support system, be the client face and grow.
Okay. So I'm taking another question from Harinder. Within fee only RIA, what is the best approach? Fixed fee or percentage of asset under advice?
So
That's a very
within RIA practice, what I have understood is there are not two, but there are three ways. One is fixed fee percentage, one is fixed fee amount, and one is fixed fee AUM or AUM. There are three ways of charging fees, is what I have learned and understood. And anything and everything is good. Trust me. Again, one of the points which I shared, please let us keep that in mind. Wherever there is value, there are people who will pay us fees. Okay. And this is the example which I always give. The poor of the poorest will always buy gold, at least once in lifetime, because they are in marrying stage. Either they are marrying themselves or they are getting married their child kids and they will buy gold. Okay. So poor of the poorest will also buy maybe even 1 gram of gold, but they will buy. तो वो value उनको दिखता है, तो they are ready for shelling out that money. So whatever your ways of paying the fees, choose yourself, but create that value for the client.
That's great. Thanks a lot. Now, that's a very interesting question. You see that fee only advisory, Vishnu Kiran has asked this question. Fee only advisory is not being appreciated by the ecosystem, which includes regulator as well as client. The effort to reward ratio is poor. Do you see this changing in the near term as genuine advice is getting lost in product push, which we see by most in the wealth management industry? What do you think we can do as CFP professionals to improve upon this?
So one
You
of
can
the
open.
points is let us stand as an industry first. Okay. What I am here doing this today is I am on my journey to see this as an industry and trying to collaborate. Even if you go on my LinkedIn, my second line is looking for CFPs who want to start on their own or CFP
Okay.
practitioners. Okay. Because मैं कितना लड़ लूंगा, हम बोलते हैं अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना है, मैं कितना लड़ लूंगा. If we are standing as 5,000 people, CFPs in the industry on the ground, I think we have made enough noise and all of us will have full stomachs. ठीक है. Second thing is from the regulator side, trust me, उसको थोड़ा सा साइड पे रख देते हैं because उसको ध्यान में रखना है, importance देना है, but इतना भी नहीं that we question mark our own conscience. We are here
Exactly.
standing with our conscience in the best interest of the client being a value add. उसको core रखते हैं, regulation को follow करते हैं. And this happens globally. Regulation रोज change होता है, US में, इंडिया में, legal में, मेडिकल फील्ड में, हर किसी के साथ ये होता है. तो उसको थोड़ा सा सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं. लेट्स स्टैंड विद अवर कंसाइंस विद द इंटेंट दैट वी आर कैरिंग ऑन सर्विंग द क्लाइंट एंड बीइंग द वैल्यू एड, बीइंग द चेंज मेकर फॉर द क्लाइंट फैमिली. इसको प्रोमिनेंस देते हैं. एवरीथिंग एल्स कुड बी डन टुगेदर. आई एम ओपन फॉर कोलैबोरेशन. जो सेकंड स्टेज में मैंने लिखा था, स्टार्ट आइडेंटिफाइंग कोलैबोरेशन, एंड थर्ड स्टेज में नाउ एक्चुअली कोलैबोरेट, तो वो माइंडसेट लेकर चलते हैं. आई थिंक वी कैन डू लॉट टुगेदर.
Exactly. Keep your client first, the first ethic of CFP certification. Client first approach, be, and don't worry, jump start. Things will take
Yes,
place.
100%.
And I guess, how do I get clients to trust me? Since it is related to finance and with so much scams happening, how would people trust me? This is a very, very valid question
Relevant.
nowadays. Kritika has
Very
asked.
relevant.
Yeah,
Very
very
relevant.
valid question. Yes.
Yes. इनफैक्ट आई सी इट इन अ डिफरेंट वे. मेरा थोड़ा सा उल्टा दिमाग चलता है. जहां पर ज्यादा स्कैम्स या प्रॉब्लम्स है, वहां पर बड़ी बिगर अपॉर्चुनिटी है फॉर द पीपल हु आर स्टैंडिंग विद द राइट इंटेंट. ठीक है. तो मैं उसको उस तरह से देख रहा हूँ. ओनली थिंग इज वी नीड टू बी देयर ऑन द ग्राउंड. लिंक्डइन पे मैं पोस्ट करके या इंस्टा पे पोस्ट करके आई एम जस्ट शोइंग टू समवन, बट ग्राउंड में खड़ा रहकर आई एम सेइंग आई एम देयर विथ यू. और ये जो धैर्य विथ यू है ना, इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग, एंड दैट इज द रीजन एवरीवेयर यू विल सी, बी विद द नेटवर्क, बी विद द नेटवर्क, डू आईएपीस, बी ऑन द ग्राउंड. वो कंसिस्टेंट है इन ऑल द थ्री स्टेजेस. ठीक है. सो बी विद द
Mhm.
पीपल, remain on ground, and I think all of these problems will be opportunities. और हमको यही स्कैम्स को तो दूर करना है ना. So let's be with that, and this is in fact a opportunity. Of course, we don't want to gain opportunity from pain, but we want to kill the pain.
So, since we are approaching to the end of time, let me take the last question. My apologies for the people whose question I could not take. And if you are very intent on taking a response, please write it to us. What made you shift from MFD to solution-oriented model? How do you
Okay.
see industry shifting to say from sales to advisory? Now, this is the final
Okay.
question I have selected.
This is
Hmm.
culminating to the whole session. Okay.
Session is.
Uh, the 3 points, let us remember and ingrain in our mind. Young population, literate population, growing literate, financial literate population, and professionals who are filing ITRs numbers is also increasing. Okay. तो ये तीन नंबर्स एवर ग्रोइंग है. ट्रस्ट मी, 10-10 15-15% से बढ़ रहा है ये. तो देर इज इनफ रिक्वायरमेंट इन द इंडस्ट्री साइड फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टर साइड. Second, fourth point is कि there is a sales to solution approach. So people today approach all of us saying मैं retirement planning कैसे कर सकता हूँ, मेरे बच्चे के education के लिए कैसे मैं पैसा जमा कर सकता हूँ. Less people will currently ask below the age of 35 saying मुझे best investment products दिखाओ, highest return वाला कौन सा product होगा. So let's be gauging this, that what are the kind of inquiries that are coming to me. And that is where I said कि वो deep breathing वाला एक रखते हैं, so that we are aligned to the kind of questions. Because when we are sensitizing our own self कि कौन से question आ रहे हैं, then also gives us conscience कि अब मैं ready हूँ इस चीज के लिए, jump करने के लिए या transition करने के लिए. And what made me is something which was my own learning experience. My father, if you went through the fast video, my father was in a retirement stage. My brother is 13 years elder to me, and I had just got married, and we were in the same business. ओके. तो जॉइंट फैमिली में क्या होता है कि सारा मैनेज हो रहा है, इन्वेस्टमेंट एक ही जगह पर जा रहा है, जो हम कहते हैं कि ये एक ब्लैक बैग में जा रहा है. एंड तीन लोग डिफरेंट डिफरेंट लाइफ स्टेजेस में. फादर वाज सेइंग मेरा पेंशन का अब कैसे मुझे मिलेगा, मैं रिटायर हो रहा हूँ, आप बिजनेस संभालो, तो मेरा खर्चा कैसे निकलेगा ये आप दोनों मिलकर बताओ. माय ब्रदर 13 years एल्डर टू मी वाज सेइंग अब मेरी बेटी का एजुकेशन के लिए कैसे मैं प्रिपेयर करूं, हायर एजुकेशन. एंड आई वाज सेइंग आई एम जस्ट स्टार्टिंग. Okay, this was my first life learning saying कि there needs to be some method to madness. And out of now, when I started my journey into distribution, I also understood this is the same thing happening with people. And that is where this cause of general practitioner came into my mind. और मेरा दिमाग में एक ही word था, I want to be the prescription writer and not the chemist who takes the prescription. ठीक है.
It's a
तो
very good
मुझे वो
idea.
प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई करना है, वो रिपोर्ट निकालना है, ताकि मैं लिखूं कि ये दवाई आपके लिए सही है, इन अ वेरी लेमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग. एंड फॉर 2 years देन आई सर्च फॉर दिस, और सर्टिफाइड फाइनेंशियल प्लानर जैसा कुछ है ये पता चला. सो दिस इज हाउ वी ट्रांजिशनड इन वेरी शॉर्ट आई कुड एक्सप्लेन.
Thank you, Mr. Viresh Patel. This was quite enlightening. And this will be available on YouTube. Over to you, Sanya. Thanks a lot for patient listening, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank
थैंक
you,
यू,
Mr. Viresh,
अप्रिशिएट.
for gracing us with your presence today for this webinar and for this exciting and engaging session that we had today. The traction was pretty good. The questions poured in. So I'll be sharing the questions with you as well. So if you want, you can connect with them as well to, if we can resolve them together and support them. And lastly,
Yes,
I would like to reiterate on one line that you mentioned, that let's stand as an industry together. So,
yes,
as a part of the engagements team, I can very proudly say that we are doing our bit, and we have been doing from the past 2 years. And we look forward to more engagement on your side, CFP professionals. And even if you try to get 3 to 4 CFP professionals to register along with you for our upcoming event, that would indeed increase our strength, because this time we are having our event at PhD Chambers and Commerce, and that is in New Delhi with the Government of Finance and Education on board. So that is a very big thing, and that needs to be resonated to our CFP professionals family. And we look forward to see you there, in fact. And Viresh sir, thank you so much once again for doing this with us,
माय
and
प्लेजर.
Anshul sir for moderating so well. Let's conclude this webinar now. So stay connected, stay informed, and keep advancing in the evolving world of financial planning. Thank you
थैंक
so
यू.
Thank you.
much. Thank you so much for
थैंक यू.
attending.
थैंक यू, सो नाइस ऑफ, थैंक यू, अप्रिशिएट.